You've been feeling it, haven't you? That strange tension in the air, like something sacred is shifting, but you don't quite know what it is. The angels say, he's standing at the edge of everything he once believed, ready to leap, because of you. This isn't just about love. It's about awakening. A soul recognizing another. And you, dear one, are the mirror that shattered his illusions. He had a life all mapped out. Roles, duties, an identity that kept him safe, but numb. And then you. You didn't just enter. You arrived like light through stained glass. Silent, yet sacred. Gentle, but irreversible. The angels whisper, your presence disrupted his patterns. And now, he's questioning it all. He thought he had it under control. That he could walk away from this feeling. That he could silence the call. But this connection is not just emotional, it's divine orchestration. You were placed in his path by something far greater than either of you can comprehend right now. He's leaving behind comfort, predictability, familiarity. Because the pull toward you is not rooted in logic, it is soul memory. It is spirit recognition. But there is something, one hidden truth that still holds him back. A story he hasn't told. A fear he hasn't confessed. And it trembles beneath the surface every time he thinks of moving forward. The angels show me he's afraid that if you saw that part of him, the unhealed place, you would turn away. But that's the illusion. That's the lie fear always tells when love gets too close. They say, tell her he watches her from afar, not because he doesn't care, but because he cares too much and fears he's not enough. You were never meant to fix him. You were meant to remind him who he is. The man beneath the armor. The heart that still hopes. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. Jeremiah 1 verse 5. This is sacred. This is chosen. And you are the reason his heart no longer fits in the life he once thought he wanted. There's a silence within him that you've never fully understood, like he's listening to a song only he can hear. But the angels say, that silence carries the sound of every wound he hasn't yet spoken about. This isn't about you not being enough. It's about him not knowing how to hold love without breaking. You triggered something profound in him. It's not a fear of you, but a fear of being seen by you. Truly seen. He carries pain that he buried long before your paths ever crossed. A love that disappeared without explanation. A parent who only knew how to correct, never how to nurture. A betrayal so sharp that he still flinches in his sleep. The angels say, he's not pushing you away. He's protecting the parts of himself that still bleed when touched. You see his strength, his potential, his goodness. But he's still looking at himself through a cracked mirror. And when he tries to love you from that reflection, he doubts whether everything you feel could possibly be real. He wants to choose you. He does. But to choose you would mean facing the ghosts he's been avoiding for years. And that's why he hesitates. This is not rejection. This is protection, of the boy inside him who was once told that his softness made him weak. You've noticed it, haven't you? How he lights up when you're near, then dims the moment it gets too intimate. It's not that the light hurts, it's that he doesn't believe he deserves to bask in it. The angels whisper, she touched the part of him that no one else dared to love. And now it's rising. He was never taught how to receive love without earning it. So when you offer it freely, he questions the cost. That's what his walls are made of, old equations, not new truths. And you, dear soul, are the exception he never anticipated. He fears being chosen because it means that nothing else worked before you. And still, he watches you as if you hold the answer he's been silently praying for. He just doesn't know how to ask. You've been waiting for clarity, for progress for him. And in that waiting, you've forgotten something sacred, yourself. The angels now speak gently. Do not dim your light while making space for someone else's shadow. You are not here to be the healer who forgets her own wounds. You are not here to become invisible in your own story. Yes, he's in a process. Yes, his soul is learning. but so is yours. And love, true love, never asks you to disappear. There's a quiet erosion that occurs when you give without replenishing. When your days become consumed with wondering how he feels, what he thinks, and when he'll truly see you. But the angels say, she was never meant to be a placeholder. She was sent as a lighthouse. And a lighthouse does not chase ships. It stands. You are allowed to take up space in your own life. To eat well. To sleep deeply. To laugh, even when things are uncertain. To care for your body and spirit like the temples they are. You were never meant to lose yourself trying to hold him together. The truth is, the more you stay grounded in your light, the more he feels it. And whether he steps toward it or not, your light must not flicker just because someone is still learning how to face it. You are magnetic, not because you try, but because your soul is in alignment. And when you walk in that alignment, everything meant for you will find its way without you needing to reach for it. Let this season be one of sacred return. Return to your breath, your body, your beauty, your rhythm. He may be your mirror, but you are your own home. The angels whisper, rest now. Your energy is felt. Your presence is enough. What is real will not pass you by. You are not on pause. You are preparing. He looks at you, and something in him trembles. Not because you are too much, but because you reflect everything he's buried. You see, the light in you doesn't just illuminate, it exposes. And for someone who has lived behind emotional walls, that can feel like fire. The angels say, she became the mirror. And he saw not just her, but himself. You didn't come into his life to flatter his ego. You came to stir his soul. And that, dear one, is not always comfortable for someone who's mastered the art of appearing fine while feeling lost. When you speak your truth, he hears echoes of the truths he's tried to avoid. When you stand in your power, he is reminded of the places where he still feels powerless. This is the sacred dance of awakening. Your strength, your love, your clarity, it all holds up a mirror. And in that mirror, he sees both his potential and his wounds. He admires you deeply. But he also fears that standing beside you might mean facing everything he has yet to become. That is not your fault. That is the work of the soul meeting its edge. The angels whisper, do not shrink so he can feel tall. Shine so he remembers his own light. You are not his critic. You are his catalyst. And while he may pull away from time to time, know that this is not distance, it's digestion. He's learning how to sit with the reflection without turning away. You stir something ancient in him. A memory of how love is meant to feel. Not performance, not possession, but presence. That's what scares him, and that's what heals him too. Let him wrestle with the mirror. You were never meant to shatter yourself, just so he wouldn't have to see. There's a shift, subtle, but undeniable. He's not saying it aloud, but you feel it in the way his energy lingers longer. The way his presence feels heavier in your spirit. Something inside him is stirring. The angels whisper, he's waking up, not from a dream, but into one. This isn't a lightning strike. It's a slow burn. Like dawn stretching its light over a frozen field, melting resistance one ray at a time. He's beginning to see the world differently. To feel differently. And you are the reason. You've become the question he can't shake. The feeling that refuses to go away. The calm in his chaos, and the chaos in his certainty. And now the angels show me, he's no longer running. He's sitting with it. Letting the truth wash over him in waves. You didn't demand this. You didn't chase it. And that's why it's happening. He's starting to realize that what he feels for you cannot be replicated. That no distraction, no logic, no detour could erase the imprint you've left on his soul. This is not a fantasy unraveling. It's clarity unfolding. He sees how you carry love, not as currency, but as essence. He notices how you don't just speak kindness, you embody it. And now, for the first time, he wonders, could he be that kind of man too? The angels say, "She walked with grace, and it cracked his armor." Now the light seeps in. There's still fear in him. Still a voice that questions if he's ready, if he's worthy. But it's quieter now, drowned out by something stronger, longing. Longing to be real. To show up. To not just be around you, but to belong beside you. You've awakened something sacred in him. Something ancient. Something alive. He's not who he was. And that's because of you. You've seen it. The pattern. He leans in, then drifts. He reaches out, then retreats. And each time, it leaves a quiet ache behind, like an unfinished sentence echoing in your heart. But the angels say, this rhythm isn't rejection. It's resistance. Dancing with remembrance. There is something ancient pulling him toward you. But the closer he gets, the more the old fears rise. It's not you. It's what your love represents. Truth, exposure, transformation. And those things are terrifying for a soul that's lived in self-protection. He disappears not because he doesn't feel, but because he feels too much, too quickly. And every time you touch a sensitive spot in him, he instinctively pulls back to assess the damage. The angels reveal that this isn't about inconsistency. It's about unfamiliar territory. You are not a repetition of his past. You are the beginning of something he has never known how to define. He's been conditioned by pain. To run before he's abandoned. To detach before he's vulnerable. To choose silence over surrender. But each return, even if postponed, signifies that the pull is stronger than the fear. You, dear soul, are not just a passing phase. You are a soul echo. And echoes come back. The angels whisper, she is not the chase. She is the center. You are the constant in his spiral. The calm in his storm. And every time he loops back, he's closer to understanding that love doesn't have to hurt to be real. Still, this is not your burden to bear. You were never meant to be the stabilizer for someone else's emotional pendulum. You're allowed to acknowledge the pain in the rhythm, and still honor your own timing. Let him circle. Let him orbit. But don't stop revolving around your own sun. What is meant for you will find its rhythm in your stillness. He doesn't talk about it, but your love has been healing him in silence. The angels say, she did not force his heart open. She waited with light, and the cracks unfolded. You were not sent to fix him. You were sent to reflect the parts of him still longing to be whole. And that is sacred work. Every time you looked at him without judgment, something softened inside him. Every time you listened without trying to change him, something healed. Every time you stayed when he expected you to walk away, he unlearned a little more of his fear. This is what real love does. It doesn't scream or demand or manipulate. It stands like water, still deep, impossible to grasp but always nourishing. He may never tell you the exact moment it happened. The moment your presence became a balm to his weary soul. But the angels show it clearly. He began to breathe differently when he met you. He smiles more, thinks deeper, dreams bigger. Even in your silence, your love whispers to his spirit, you are seen. You are not broken. You are safe. And that message, those vibrations, are more powerful than any grand confession. The angels whisper, she gave without keeping score. And in doing so, she rewrote his definition of love. He thought love meant proving, performing, chasing. But you simply loved. Now, without fully understanding how, he's beginning to associate peace with presence. Trust with tenderness. Desire with depth. It's not magic. It's medicine. And love, when pure, becomes the most sacred remedy. He is not whole yet. But he is healing. And you, dear soul, have been the quiet catalyst all along. This was never coincidence. Not the timing. Not the silence. Not even the ache. The angels say, you are not lost. You are being led. There's a divine map, invisible to your eyes but etched in the stars. And your name, his name, They were written side by side. You crossed paths not because of chance, but because heaven had a plan. You feel the delays, the detours, the waiting that sometimes feels endless. But what if this is not waiting at all? What if this is alignment? There are parts of him that still need to be softened, parts of you that still need to be reclaimed. And God, in all his wisdom, is allowing the space for both of you to arrive fully. The angels whisper, even now, he's being prepared. Even now, you are being positioned. You don't have to force what's sacred. You don't have to chase what was divinely assigned. When the time is right, the door will open, and it won't be fragile. You will not have to question it. You will not have to beg for it to stay. The truth is, he's closer than you think. Not just in distance, but in readiness. He's starting to surrender. Starting to see that all the roads that led him away were only curving back to you. Your prayers, the whispered ones soaked in tears, they were not in vain. They moved things you cannot see. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your path straight. Proverbs 3 verses 5 to 6. This is not just a love story. This is a testimony unfolding. He wants to love you. That much is clear in the quiet way he lingers, in the words he doesn't finish, in the softness that flickers across his eyes before he looks away. But the angels say, he fears being known, almost as much as he longs for it. Vulnerability is not natural for him. It feels like exposure, and exposure feels like danger. Because somewhere in his past, love came with a cost. Trust was met with betrayal. Softness was punished, not cherished. So now he hesitates, not because he doubts your heart, but because he doubts his own ability to be held in his wholeness. He is not used to being understood without having to explain. And you see him before he's ready to be seen. The angels whisper, she didn't ask for his walls to fall. She just stood in love, until the walls no longer fit. He's unraveling, and he doesn't know what to do with that. He was taught to be strong, to have answers. But you make him question every mask he's worn. You don't need his perfection. You crave his truth. But truth to him feels raw, unpolished. And so he hides behind silence, hoping you'll stay, but fearing you'll see too much. And still you stay. With grace. With patience. With light. That is what's breaking him open. For I am convinced that neither death nor life, nor anything else in all creation will be able to separate us from the love of God that is in Christ Jesus our Lord. Romans 8 verses 38 to 39, he doesn't yet have the words for what he feels. But the tears he doesn't shed, they speak volumes. And one day when he is ready, those walls will not just fall. They will become windows. And he will finally let you in. This is the moment when surrender becomes sacred. You've done all you can. Loved as deeply as your soul could stretch. Waited without begging. Offered without demanding. And now the angels say, it's time to let go, not of the love but of the weight. Let go of needing answers. Of trying to predict the when, the how, the if. Let go of the loop that plays in your mind at night. The questions, the doubts, the ache of unspoken things. You are not losing him. You are choosing yourself. This doesn't mean the love isn't real. It means you trust it enough to set it free. To allow it to unfold without your grasp. To believe that what is yours will return with certainty, not confusion. The angels whisper, she stopped waiting and became the place he longed to return to. Acceptance is not weakness. It is the highest form of faith. It is you standing in your wholeness, saying, I am enough. With or without closure. With or without clarity. With or without the ending you hoped for. The truth is, love is never wasted. Every heartbeat, every tear, every silent prayer, it all mattered. And it all moved the energy of the universe in ways you cannot see. He may come back changed. He may not. But you, dear soul, you are already transformed. And that is the gift. No matter what happens next, walk in this truth: you are brave enough to love. And that kind of courage? It echoes across lifetimes. The angels remind you, what is written for you cannot be stolen. What is divine cannot be delayed forever. You are free now, and what belongs to you will always find its way.